All right, we're back to draft again. We're in the sicko stage. I got my sweet tea. I got my water. We're in this draft, and I'm gonna sculpt it like a potter and all that. We're in an NFL best ball $1 million training camp, $1 million in prizes, $250K to first. It is an early bird tournament, pre-draft, as we stated. We're sickos. For anybody who's tuned in ever at all, guess who got Jahmyr Gibbs back in his rankings and figured it out? Very important, even though I'm at pick 6 and it hasn't mattered once because I have not had pick 1 or 2. But we got him back. Thrilled about it. And I'm raring to go. Today's the ideal day. We're snowed in. So if you don't know anything about Midwest weather, so I'm in Kansas City. So however you feel about my team or the city's team, you know, I'm a fan of whatever gets me my bags. Right? And then I'm also a fan of the city, you know? But it's kind of in that order. So there's a lot of people that don't respect that, but that's okay with me. But if you want any background, 2 days ago, it was 70 degrees. Yesterday, the day started at 70 degrees. And then it went downhill to 30 degrees and ended with like 4 inches of snow. So it changes within 8 hours. So if you want any, just trying to give you some geographical knowledge if you're thinking about coming this way, or if you just want to get educated, just make sure you pack everything anytime you're over here. Bring everything, every type. And so now I'm not snowed in. I could go shovel, but you know, I'll let the sun do that for me tomorrow. So today is freezing over, you know. But tomorrow we're up to 42 degrees, and then the day after that 68, and then the day after that 75, and then 80, 83, right? So it's just we have pockets. We have pockets of hell. All right, we're getting started in 7 seconds. We've had some crazy opponents and adversaries. Some would call them dumb. And one of those people would probably be me. But I love it. I love people getting after. They might know a lot of stuff I don't know. Any type of build can win. I'm probably too staunch in my stances. But we've seen teams that through 13 round or 12 rounds had only Jordan Tyson at receiver, or only Mike Evans at receiver, or only Kyle Monungai at running back. This is Cienzi. I used to know a guy named Cienzi. This is not the first time we've seen Jamar Chase go at 1. And it does surprise me a little bit every time. There may be people that just know some stuff I don't. Bro, Bijan going at 4 is outrageous. I mean, I'm assuming he does. There's no way he makes it to me. But this is like, what a unique build that Ear Salad 311 is going to come up with right here. If they just take best ADP at 21, I hope for their sake it's not Brock Bowers. I don't like taking tight ends that early. It's going to be unique. But we'll see if he... I need to turn off notifications on my phone because it just let me know that I'm up in 2 picks. JSN. Well. If it isn't CMC looking at me in the face again. I kind of want to go Jonathan Taylor because I have so much CMC. But I won't. It's CMC till we die. It's just, I really don't know where Daniel Jones is going to come back, what the timeline is on that. Will he get re-injured? Is the offense going to be the same? They've lost some of their potency. They should have, I'm guessing, and I could be wrong here, but fewer red zone trips. They just utilized a lot of cap space on both Daniel Jones and Alec Pierce. So the team as a whole will not be as well-rounded. They got rid of their wide receiver 2/1, depends where you want to look at it, over the years. So we'll see where they end up. But that Tyler Warren jump, though, that could be coming soon. I need to get back to the board. Justin Jefferson at 10, kind of whack, but, you know, it's hard not to bet on his talent. And Kyler could do it. I took my first Justin Jefferson share yesterday when I was drafting on my phone. My bad. But it was a $1 draft. You guys didn't care about the $1 draft. Achane at 11. You know, a lot of people are less high on Devon Achane now that the Malik Willis signing is there than before. And I understand that may take away some of the PPR points. But I see people saying, and it might be some of your favorite creators, I see some people saying that Malik Willis means that they're going to have fewer red zone trips than they did last year. And obviously the PPR stuff is coming out. We know that. But he should be getting more efficient on the ground with a running quarterback. So are we saying that even though, because these creators, the same ones, talked about how bad Tua was, how egregious he was, are we saying that even though they talked about how bad he was and Malik Willis had some great EPA per play, some of the best in the NFL, small sample, that they're going to have fewer red zone trips? It makes it hard for me to make sense. So I think his ADP, to me, should maybe even bump a little bit, maybe less so on DraftKings, maybe more on underdog and half PPR formats. But I mean, the team I feel like should be getting better. They do have so much dead cap, but it's very hard to get worse. And I think they should have equally as many red zone trips. He's just slightly more efficient on the ground, gets slightly less through the air. So it's probably a net neutral overall. But they're saying he's got to drop. I mean, this is partially in Dynasty too, which his outlook in Dynasty may even be better. They still have dead cap next year though, so it's like, if you look in 3-year outlooks, then I get it. But all right, what we're looking for at 19 is this guy Drake London. That's probably who I want. I have a running back. I'd like to stay balanced. I'll take any of the running backs that come here if somebody takes Drake London before. Oh, God. I have so much Omarion Campton on DraftKings. Can I do it again? Because I'll tell you what, I'm about to. Literally every single DraftKings $1 million training camp, $250K to first, early bird tournament I've done. You've seen all of them. I have Omarion Hampton in each and every one of them that I have done. All right, so we have 2 RBs. We are now going to start looking towards people that are going to catch the ball with their hands instead of it being handed to them in their hands. Nothing that crazy or egregious going on right now. For example, last draft that we had with you guys, it was George Pickens going like right here, Chris Olave going like right here. Who did he end up with? Chase Brown. I think that was best ADP available. Probably a very unique start, although Chase Brown can start here. Could drop here. What is really interesting is how everybody was super concerned about competition coming in last year for Chase Brown, and nothing did, but his ADP got dropped for it, and nobody's concerned this year, even though I don't think his performance was anything extremely stellar. Okay, I like all of the values this guy has, but he has to switch up from RBs. If he does 5 RBs in a row like we've seen some people do, he's going to be in trouble. Who do I want to go with? All right, I hope he takes Rashee Rice because I have too much. I think I'm going to have to balance it out, and I will take A.J. Brown because I have so much Rashee as well. And this guy could be in jail. Like I said, I'm in Kansas City. I know this guy could be in jail any given day. Oh, man. But I have so much more exposure to him. I'll go AJ. It's a lot harder for me too. AJ Brown is a dog, insane, athletic phenom. Probably took a step down, and when you see people start to take a step down, you might want to take a step back. But a lot of that was situational. And he's getting a year older, and the reason I want to take Rashee Rice is Rashee Rice should be stepping into his prime if he's not stepping into a cell, which we talk about, but he could step into either. And I want to take that guy who should be getting better, who should be in his athletic peak, who understands the system he's in, playing with one of the greatest quarterbacks. But again, I could also say that along with the legal troubles, Justin Fields just got traded for by the Chiefs just now. Right? Like 3-4 hours ago, 5 hours ago. And if that signals that they're not confident that Mahomes is going to be back week 1, week 2, and it might take a time for him to ramp up even when he is back, then maybe it is good to hedge my bets with A.J. Brown because I don't want to be too exposed to a volatile situation. All right, we have two teams that have taken 3 running backs in a row. We could make it 3 here. Tin Man C taking his time. assessing the situation. Devontae Adams at 29 is wild. So we have 3 teams with 3 running backs in a row. This situation is very recoverable. They can start all 3 of these guys, but they need to start catching up at wide receiver. We talk about the balance a lot. Wide receivers drop off. I don't want to be getting Jerry Jeudy as my wide receiver 5 or 4 in the later rounds. So the Devontae Adams is the first real shock to me and pick outside of Bijan dropping this far. Bucky Irving, I know his ADP is here. I don't think he is here. Bucky Irving to me is in the 40s for sure. Minimum round 4, probably mid to late round 4 for me. He takes a third back, so he's got to catch up on receiver too. Running backs, I think the trend is swinging, and people are understanding how valuable. 4th running back. Okay, now this guy is getting dangerous. This guy is getting a bit too dangerous, too big for his britches here. People are starting to understand the value of running backs. The NFL is going from the pass-heavy game, slightly more shift to the running game, getting bigger bodies in the offensive line, wanting to make sure that they are getting, from a statistical perspective, the 5. If you can get 5 yards per carry, you're in a great spot. And it's showing at the beginning of these drafts. There's a lot more RBs I feel like are going early than ever before. Well, at least ever before since I've been doing it for the last 2-3 years. Hi. I don't know between these two. Am I going to take another Justin Herbert? I think I have enough of that. Let's balance the exposures. I think Luther Burden, insane athletic profile, showed it with a lot of his production last year, even though it was a small sample size. I would love to have Ladd too. I'd love to have both, but if I'm betting on wide receiver 2 breakouts, and we saw Ladd have a dramatic step back, Keenan Allen may very well be back there. Would not be surprised. It'll stay crowded. Trey Harris should ascend. Quentin Johnston broke out. Aronde Gadsden broke out. Amarian Hampton's there. It's a good offense, and you want to invest in good offenses, but so are the Bears, and I think that there's more mouths to get fed right now in Los Angeles than there are in Chicago. All right, so both of these guys went with receivers. Nice, well done, well played. McConkey goes at 48. I mean, not that he was ever making it back to me. So we have the door open for both Caleb Williams and Jalen Hurts. Travion goes. I would have liked Travion. Jameson goes. You know who I'm really not that confident on right here, but I am going to take, if they make it to me, is Roma Dunze. Let's go with a Bears draft. Let's push the boundaries, push the lines. We'll see if DeAndre Swift makes it back. We'll see if Caleb Williams makes it back. There is nobody that is going to take them that is going to have a stack. I've got these guys locked up. Unless this guy, because I'll probably try to get DeAndre Swift if he makes to me before. But this guy right here would have to think DJ Moore is still in Chicago for me to really be messed up here. All right, this guy goes 5 receivers straight. So he's going to need to have a run on running back sometime soon to avoid being too caught out. Because, again, if we look at the board right here, we have 2, 4, 7, 9, 11, 13, 16, 17, 21, 24. 24 RBs already gone. So now you're looking strictly at people who are considered flexes. Now, inevitably, there will be hits that are going to be RB1s or RB2s he can find. But are all of the RB1 spots, all of the RB2 spots that are projected have now gone. As far as these people think it. 24 RBs off the board. And he's got none. But I'll tell you what, his receiver room's nice. This guy goes his first receiver with Cortland Sutton. Parker Washington. I just can't get over his ADP every time. This guy's catching up on his backs. Bashal Tutin right now. I mean, I guess I personally am just more negative about him. He's in a good offense. They might not draft anybody now that they got Chris Rodriguez. I should probably take more of him. I don't think I've taken him at all. Maybe once. It's just Chris Rodriguez is making a lot of money, man. And he didn't really do anything in his first year from an efficiency perspective. I just realized Caleb Williams went, and I didn't even think about Colson Loveland. I was tripping. I was tweaking. This guy went immediately. That's heartbreaking. I could go Tyler Warren. I wouldn't be mad at that. But I think I am going to go Carnell Tate because I want to shore up the positions that I care about. I need to get more Tyler Warren in general, though. And then we'll aim for Jalen Hurts on the way back. That might not come to fruition because this guy's got Devonta Smith, but he does also have Josh Allen, which makes me feel a little bit safer about waiting. Two tight ends off the board. So now this guy I feel like is at a bit of a deficit in receiver. He needs to make up for that, absolutely. Mike Evans and Jamison Williams. So this guy will hit you some weeks, but a lot of weeks he won't give you jack nothing. This guy, perennial greatness when his hamstring is telling him that he's okay to play. So there's a lot of weeks and a lot of spots where you're going to still need some more points. I have no Jaden Daniels. But I am going to go for the stack. Even though he could get traded. If Jalen Hurts goes, I'm taking Chuba. With zero hesitation. He does not. I hope this guy can throw the ball and also not just throw the ball, but more importantly, make the correct reads and decisions when approaching the line of scrimmage. I hope he's studying the damn blade. I hope he's studying the defenses, understanding the checks he's got to make, looking in the offseason at how the defensive coordinators operate, what their tendencies are. Because that's where it feels like he's lacking. He's not really ever making decisions. Now, I'm not in the room, so being in the room would be helpful to know. But this guy still only has these two. I'm feeling better about some people throwing away their money now. This guy still needs to take a receiver. This guy has one running back, Cam Scatbo. Dak Prescott goes. So now this dude is also suspect. Again, this is more of a boomer bust player. He should be getting more targets, so maybe less bust than before, but no Daniel Jones potentially, or weekend Daniel Jones. We'll see what happens. Cortland Sutton is aging every day. We'll see what kind of weapons that Sean Payton wants to bring in. Wandale at 85 seems wrong. I don't know where his ADP is at, to be transparent. But it does feel wrong. I have so much Ricky Pearsall. Probably shouldn't take him even if he makes it to me. I pick 90. Maybe I'll try to go for these two guys. Oh, no, not this guy. Sam Laporta just went? Oh, no, I'm tweaking. This guy is getting dangerous. Ricky Pearsall goes, so I'm out on him. Somebody take Sam Laporta and I missed it? Just now. Okay. Okay. All right. So I think I've got some wide receivers in this range I'm good with. There's fewer running backs that I'm good with in this range. So I think instead of this, I'm going to go Algier. I think he's more likely to command the starting role than Rico Dowdle or Jalen Warren are. But specifically in this case, Rico Dowdle. Now let me see what my boy Ear Salad does. Started with a hot Bijan at 4. Does not have any receiver depth. He needs it here. I imagine he takes it. There goes Chris Godwin, who I would have liked. This guy's also broaching into dubious territory with his receivers. He got 2 through the top 3 rounds. Injuries give me hesitancy. We don't know what Marv is going to be. Their roster might be even worse this year than it is last year, even though you saw me just take Tyler Algier. But if we're looking at teams that we like, I don't like this Parker Washington selection. This team's not terrible, but it needs to go a few more receivers. This team only has Rico Dowdle at back. This team is pretty solid. Some early QBs, but that's fine. Oh, we lost all the receivers, man. I was like, I'll get some of these guys. All right, we don't have anybody. 102. I think I'm going to get more receivers later, and I want to shore up my quarterback. I have a lot of Michael Pittman. I could have gone Kyler. I think the quarterback drop-off is coming very swiftly with dudes that are going to be moving around and have potentially have passing volume. And I don't want to be caught without a second one. Round 7, round 9, I'm fine with these for my QB spots. Second tight end bangs. He still only has Cam Scattaboo as his RB. If Jeremiah Love comes, this guy gave us money. If he can't come back from injury the way he thinks, that guy gave us money. This guy needs a receiver. Unfortunately, there's not a lot going around right specifically at this range, which for me is great because I don't want him to take one. I want him to stay depleted. And he does. Grabs his 6th RB through 9 rounds. 6 of his 9 selections are at running back. This guy has a stack with Parker Washington. No stack yet here for Jordan Love. This guy got his receivers early, but now his depth is not necessarily there. If we look at Emeka Egbuka's game log, I mean, look at this guy's first 5 weeks. Bang, 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 bang. All right, now let's look everything after that. 1 week over 10, 2 weeks over 10. 2 weeks over 10 after that first 5. I still believe in him. I wanted to draft him in Dynasty. I couldn't get him. Man, 3 QBs here. That's bold. Let me look at players. Who was I talking about, though? Oh, Emeka Egbuka. There's still so many... Kyler's still here, man. Do these guys need receivers? Mostly, yes. This guy needs a running back, which means he might take J.K. Dobbins, who I'd rather have. Who are the receivers on the way back? I'm more comfortable with those receivers than the running backs. J.K. Dobbins, me. And that matches with Bo Nix. I wasn't even thinking. I really wasn't thinking. I probably should have been. So now I need to catch up a little bit at receiver. I like the values that were going to be a little bit later. I could go Jaden Reed, but I already have a lot of Jaden Reed. This guy goes a 3rd quarterback through round 10. If you're going 3 QBs through round 10, and you had 1 in round 4, 1 in round 8, like now I'm starting to think this guy's dust. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to find the production he needs. You got to rely on Marvin Harrison weekly. Maybe you have to rely on Kyle Monungai weekly. We'll see. This guy's trying to come back for his RBs. I don't mind what this guy's doing, but at the same time, he's behind as hell as RBs. So the 0 RB strategy better be real this year. Kenyon Sadiq, 119. So hard for me to judge Kenyon Sadiq. It's all going to come down to landing spot, but his athletic profile obviously is fantastic. Has Chris Rodriguez not gone yet? Has Josh Downs not gone yet? I am back. Xavier Worthy's still there. I might take him just because we're 17 picks past ADP. I don't think I'm even going to take him now. I don't think I am. I don't know why I find myself loving Casey Concepcion. What's the news? I maybe should have looked at the news first. I maybe should have checked that. That's not good news, but it's better than not being 100% healthy by the time the season comes around. Maybe I should have gone Josh Downs. I probably need to have a little bit more belief. I was taking a receiver either way. We have more RBs that we like here with the rookies. Chris Rodriguez is way down here. I like his value so much. Pat Bryant, Troy Franklin. People I'm eyeing that specifically for the I think Pat Bryant will be pretty good. Troy Franklin, I think maybe is overhyped. Maybe. Although he did have great runs. It's hard for me to judge him too. Chris Rodriguez goes. Heartbreaking news. The worst person you know just made a good decision. But again, no, there's people doing worse than him. This guy finally got his 3rd receiver in Khalil Shakir. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at how this guy's done. I guess PPR slightly better, but there's just really no ceiling. And he's still sitting at 3. All right, I should probably start looking at tight end Travis Kelce, I'll take if he's available. He probably won't be available. And then I'll hope that one of these two guys comes back. If I don't get him, then I'll probably wait till the Mark Andrews, Hunter Henry range. How many more people do I have to curve? Nobody. Jonah Coleman goes. We got smart drafters. I'll take Kelce. Have a tight end who's probably undervalued. Like, let's look again at his last season. 11.4 fantasy points per game for a tight end. That's really solid. Let's go ahead and look at Dallas Goedert, the touchdown scoring machine, 13, right? So he got there with the touchdowns. Isaiah Likely, 4.5. Nice. 11.7. 11.2, so we're right around the range, but I'm just getting a discount. 8.8. 11.9, so I'm just getting a discount on these guys. But then now we start to see a drop-off. Brendan Strange right there, 9.3. Josh Downs goes. That sucks. We got our QBs. So right now we're bought into 3 offenses more or less. We're bought into Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown. Chicago passing attack with Luther Burden, Rome Odunze. And then we are also in Denver with Bo Nix and J.K. Dobbins. We have Carnell Tate and Casey Concepcion. We don't know where those guys are ending up. And then we have a bad offense, and then we have 2 pretty elite offenses up here. So Denver, Philly, and Chicago. Philly and Chicago, actually, I don't feel as good about Philly as I used to, but I'm also getting a discount. So A.J. Brown, a round later than he went last year, maybe 2 rounds later. Jalen Hurts, 2 to 3 rounds later. And if their offensive line comes back as they should, there should be a lot more points. Hunter Henry goes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it might be time. Finally, after my hiatus is broken, give me Denzel Boston again at 150. I'm now sitting at 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 6 receivers, 1 tight end. I had 4 running backs through the first, or 4 receivers through the first 6 rounds, but did not take another one until round 11. I had 2 running backs for the first 2 rounds, 2 workhorse guys. They had injuries, but I had 2 more shoring up in the last 2 rounds that should have what I consider to be starting spots. I know RJ Harvey is going higher, but he's not going to start. I don't know if he's got the red zone role either, but we'll see. We'll see. He's definitely got the receiving, and Sean Payton likes that guy a little bit. But not enough to make him full-time. And not enough to bring somebody in who's only going to be making $6 million a year either. This guy is still only with 4 receivers. This guy also only has 4 receivers, and we're 13 rounds in. This guy's only got 3 running backs, but they're the first 3, so he's chilling. This guy's only got 3 running backs. One of them is Jahmyr Gibbs, though. Overall, most are balanced. Oops. This guy only has Jacoby Brissett at QB. So you can find QB points, but every QB from here on out is going to have certified pitfalls, red flags in their profile. And he may give up points every week at that position. Now, he's doing great most everywhere else except running back still. I like Jonah Coleman. Great value. I'm glad he got him for him. I mean, I'm not glad for me. Price, I think, might be a little bit overrated here. We'll see, though. I could be wrong. Charbonnet, late surgery, not going to be valuable at the beginning. Coming back from injury, could have Jeremiah Love. Like, he's lacking at RB production and QB production. So it's going to be different. Kittle's coming back from injury. This guy's probably donating. Although he does have probably 4 to 5 or 3 to 4 spots with the wide receivers every week figured out. But you're going to need more spots than that. Omar Cooper goes. What players are available? How does everybody else look at tight end? 2-1 Tyler Warren, 2-2-1 Brock Bowers. So everybody already has pretty solidified. I'm gonna try to take Pat Bryant. Actually, I don't think anybody's gonna take Pat Bryant right here though. But I'll still take him. I'll get Mark Andrews on the way back around. I'll solidify my stack. If I can't get Mark Andrews, I'll take Brandon Ayuk as my probably final receiver. And then I'll be done with receiver. The drop off at the receiver position is a lot more. Maybe I'll take Dalton Schultz, actually. I do want to make sure that I've got some tight end depth, and I do have 7 receivers through 14. So now our stack consists of Bo Nix, J.K. Dobbins, and Pat Bryant. I might take a flag on Eli Stowers and hope that they take him. I don't know if they are going to take Kenyon Sadiq. But if they take Stowers in the second round, it's probably going to usurp Evan Ingram pretty quickly. Andrews goes. Heartbreaking news. This guy still only has 4 receivers. Now, he's got some stud guys that hopefully can perform for him week to week. But he's still dead in a bad way. If one of them gets injured for 5 weeks, he's losing a lot of points to make the playoffs. He's got a good ceiling with the 4 guys that he does have. This guy's attempting to make up for his RBs, but he's got a lot of old heads that are injury prone. All right, let's see who we're looking at. Could be here, could be here. I don't want Trey Benson now that they re-signed James Conner. Could be here. $174, man. All right, I'm done at receiver. I don't necessarily feel great about that, but it is 17 picks past ADP, somewhere along that range. They do make up 3 to 4 spots of your starting lineup. I want to make sure I have depth there. Transparently, I just liked Brandon Ayuk as far as the upside he can provide to relative to everybody else in this range. Will he provide that? The likelihood is no. But I'm shooting for upside again. I need to... This is 2 out of 12 advance, 1 out of 12 advance, 1 out of 12 advance, and then I'm pretty sure we got like... I don't even know where I see the contest details. Maybe here? No. Contest details. 136 person final, right? So I need the upside. As much upside as I can get, I need to take it. Would tight end have made me more balanced? Absolutely. And I probably should have done it, but sometimes we take risks. Dalton Schultz goes. I could have gotten Dallas Goedert, but he's not making much money. He wasn't blocking extremely well, so his snaps might get diminished, which is why he might not have been making as much money. This guy's up to 5 wide receivers. Chig goes. See, now I'm at the range where I'm not happy taking any of these guys. At tight end. What's the Ridley news? Staying in Tennessee. I think he will have a better season. I could have pushed off Brandon Ayuk, got a tight end, and gotten Calvin Ridley. Never mind, he went. I have enough David Njoku. I'll go some Eli Stowers. I hope he gets drafted to Denver. If he gets drafted to Denver, now our stack is going to be Bo Nix, J.K. Dobbins, Pat Bryant, and Eli Stowers. But I can't loop Eli Stowers in yet. This guy went 4 tight ends when he had Harold Fannin in the 6th round. What is he sacrificing? He did a good job of balancing it overall, but I mean, his receivers, again, there's not many of them. This guy's still sitting at 5 receivers, and his top 2 are Cortland Sutton and Alec Pierce. Njoku goes. I would have loved him on the way back. At this point, I may push tight end one more round. I need some running backs. How many running backs do I have? 4? Yeah, I need some running backs. Benson's got to be dust. Somebody already reached on Nick Singleton. Running back is a barren wasteland of sadness. I'll go Braylon Allen. The good news is I like the top half of our draft. The first 14 rounds I like. And hopefully that 14 rounds is the important 14 rounds. And now I'm looking for upside and dart throws and making sure I have some balance. I got 2 high-end RBs, 2 other starters. It was okay to punt this a little bit farther. I now have 2 tight ends. One we don't know anything about, but we do know he's athletic as hell. Which is better than not being athletic as hell. But at the same time, we still don't know. I don't know how good this guy really is at football at an NFL level. At the game. This guy finally got a 6th receiver. This guy also only has 5. Now he went... Parker Washington is one of the 5. Elijah Surratt. So these guys with 5 receivers, they just need, and it's a very, like, one of them could absolutely, but they just need to be correct about the top 3-4 guys they took. They need to. And they need to be correct on them, not just for some weeks, but for every week, or at least 80% of the weeks. It's a long season. There's bye weeks, there's injury. Are you balanced everywhere? 5 receivers doesn't really cut it. Getting your 6th receiver in round 18 doesn't really cut it. Has Geno Smith really supported a tight end? He couldn't even really do it with Brock Bowers, so I'm not going to get Mason Taylor. I don't think that's what he's looking for. He's looking for downfield shots. Do we ever know what his contract was for? 4 tight ends, 1 tight end. Okay, that guy's gonna have to take a tight end. So I'm gonna go. Let's go the ascending guy who we don't have a ceiling yet. Even though I could use some consistency, that's hopefully where Travis Kelce comes in. And then I just need shots from either Ferguson or Stowers intermittently. And then let the consistency come from Kelce. Now we should be done at tight end. We could maybe go 6 RBs, given that we had 4 through round 10. And go a 4th tight end, because we didn't have our first one till round 12. But I'm also not mad at this tight end room. If there's a position I'm going to punt, it's going to be the one that gives you the least amount of points and the least ceiling and the least volume. And we know which one that is. This dude has 4 running backs. And I like Derrick Henry. I would take him at his value. But you got to understand, when you have Derrick Henry, it doesn't tell me his age, but he's got to be a million. What is he going to be? 30? Is he 33 right now? 32. So he's turning 33 this year, which is a great-great-grandfather in running back years to be starting. Now, I believe in him. I've drafted him. But when I draft him, I also generally have more than 4 running backs. Now, he got the 4 running backs through 11 rounds, but he's got red flags in a lot of his profiles. Sean Tucker's still here. I will take Sean Tucker. Is he very efficient consistently? No, but has he shown a ceiling that Devin Neal has shown? Actually, I kind of like Devin. No, but with Travis Etienne there. That Amari DeMarcado has shown. Who's now in the Chiefs, though, right? Maybe I should take him. That Ray Davis has shown. Justin Fields has shot up. Honestly, understandably. Maybe I should be taking more of him. But I think it'll become a lot more clear. Like right now, there's still so much unknown. There's a complete lack of clarity in what the situation around the Kansas City Chiefs will be. And that will continue to become more explicit as we progress in the offseason. So if I know that Mahomes is injured, he's not on track for training camp, he's not at OTAs, now I can start taking a lot more Justin Fields and feel better about it. And I don't think he's going to leave this price range that much because, again, we know he's not going to be the starting option for the final year and through weeks 15, 16, 17. Now, he could be if something goes awry with the injury, but it's just so unlikely that I think I can wait and he'll still be around the same ADP. So now I've got to decide one more tight end or one more running back. I think it'll depend on who's available. When we look at tight end, Greg Dulcich, honestly, I'm not mad at. We know I take this guy a lot. I could even take Evan Ingram. Let me look at Evan Ingram's contract. Okay, so we had a 2-year, $23 million contract, which is $11.5 a year, with $16.5 mil guaranteed. So I'm assuming that he had a guarantee of $11.5 the first year, and now he's making $5 mil this year with potential to make more, which means he's on a $5 mil contract for a tight end, and I don't think they believe in him that much, so I don't think I'm taking him even for the stack. Greg Dulcich, I know, is eating some snaps. I know he's eating some damn snaps. None of these guys I know are going to be eating snaps, but they are who's one injury away. He's got Kendre Miller here too. He's got Brashard Smith here too. Najee is a free agent. But Najee's a free agent coming off the Achilles. We went Greg Dulcich. I was that close to going Devin Neal because Travis Etienne, I don't think he is a volume sponge. But I like him more than a lot of people who just say he's a volume sponge. But if they just paid enough for him that they're going to be using him. Devin Neal's role, unless he gets hurt, cannot be that much. He can have a role, but he's also going to be competing right now against Kendre Miller. And it's like, so much unknown there, and I know Greg Dulcich is there. And if I can trust, my team relies on these guys staying healthy anyway. So I'm going to need these guys to perform. I'm going to need these guys to subsidize. Probably will have some type of role. We'll need some injuries. RB is my weakest link. That being said, it is my first 2 picks. So my upside, my ceiling there is immense, which is why I was comfortable going ahead and taking another tight end. My final draft, at RB, Christian McCaffrey, Omarion Hampton, 2 workhorse guys in great offenses, some of the best situations that I could have. Tyler Algier should be starting but splitting the backfield. J.K. Dobbins, getting paid $10 million, should be starting, splitting the backfield. And then Braylon Allen and Sean Tucker. At receiver, we have A.J. Brown, Luther Burden, and Roma Dunze to pair up the Chicago stack. Carnell Tate, who may go to the Chiefs, we'll find out, which would pair him with Travis Kelce. Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston, Pat Bryant, Brandon Ayuk. At tight end, we have Travis Kelce, Eli Stowers, Terrence Ferguson, and Greg Dulcich. This should give us more than enough tight end production. I probably could have been cool with 3, but I'm definitely good now, and I was able to take most of these guys at the bare back end. And then at quarterback, we have Jalen Hurts paired up with A.J. Brown, at least for now. And Bo Nix paired up with J.K. Dobbins, Pat Bryant, and then hopefully Eli Stowers. That's the draft. We have some bums over here who punted wide receiver until the very last and are hoping that Jalen Lane, Devontae Walker, Devon Vailate, I think Elijah Surratt are going to do something. But we'll see. I'm happy with this. We got some different stacks than we normally have with Denver and Philadelphia, rounding our exposures, but making sure, again, we've stayed balanced. All right, well, have a good one. I don't really know what I'm talking about here, so if you think that as well, just let me know what I need to be doing. But enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you draft something. If you've got anything good, if you get any real value like Bijan at 4, holler at me. Ciao, ciao.